It's the George Plaster Show. 30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee. Featuring Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer Watson Brown. And it's a shame it's taken this long to get an introduction for this Tennessee Sports Hall of Famer, Kelly Holcomb, along with young gun Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in. It's a beautiful Thursday in Nashville. And we say these words, let the games begin. And boy, have they. Let's get our first of several March Madness scoreboard updates with Billy Derrick.
Yes, and with Lori Burnett Leland as well, who brings us the March Madness scoreboard updates all throughout the tournament. You can visit her website, mortgageladyyusa.com. Again, mortgageladyyusa.com. All right, here we go.
Oh, whoa. Listen here.
Got a little bit of music to go with.
Yeah.
And we've got two finals so far.
Yes, we do.
Michigan State throttles Mississippi State 69-51. And Duquesne, first NCAA tournament in 47 years, they knock off BYU 71-67. The Dukes get it done. Unbelievable. And their last win, I looked up their last win. It was all the way back in 1969. Their last tournament win. They had appeared in it, but they hadn't won in 1977. So the Dukes get it done in the first upset of the NCAA tournament. And right now we've got 3 games going on. 3-seed Creighton all over Akron right now, 61-47. Late in that one. Still got about 10 minutes left, but Creighton looks like they will close that one out. Arizona leads Long Beach State at the half, 41-35. So that one is a little bit tighter than people might have expected. And number 1 seed North Carolina leads Wagner 20-15 in the first half in that one. Morehead State and Illinois coming up here shortly. Oregon and South Carolina as well. So that is your first March Madness scoreboard update brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. Visit her website at mortgageladyyusa.com.
Here is the stat line for Tolu Smith at Mississippi State. 27 minutes, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 rebounds, a total of 9 points. If you know that going in, if you have that piece of information at your disposal today at 9 o'clock, you know who wins the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unacceptable. And I'll tell you where it's going to hurt him a little bit, because the pro scouts are looking at that and going, okay, here's a big stage. Didn't look all that interested.
No, he didn't.
2 rebounds? Give me a break.
George, I didn't see the game. So what was it? Was it a ground and pound type of game that you said? Did the referee? I mean, how was it?
It wasn't quite the rock fight that I thought it would be. To be honest, State didn't look very interested to me.
No. I do think it's a lot of Tom Izzo. He sent double teams at Tolu. Tolu caught the ball, and he had no clue what to do with it. He would give it up real quick, so he didn't even really get a chance to isolate on guys. It's like they were sending guys at him. And this is a totally different Mississippi State team we saw in Nashville. They looked like one of the better teams in the league, and now they lose in one game in the NCAA tournament.
Hubbard got 18 of their 54 shots.
Yeah, they just didn't have enough around Hubbard shooting-wise. They have some athletes, long athletes, but that's not going to get it done in March.
You knew going in, there's an advantage to Izzo.
Yep.
And this man's been around for a while. This is not his first rodeo.
Right.
And his team kind of played like it early. They jumped all over State. State looked clueless.
They did. So Michigan State advances, they'll play the winner of North Carolina and Wagner, whoever comes out of that one. We'll see. Wagner trails North Carolina right now. So see if UNC holds off there. So those are the movements right now. Duquesne will play the winner of Illinois and Morehead State. So Duquesne, are they going to be the Cinderella this season is the big question.
Not when they run into Illinois.
No, Illinois is actually a trendy pick.
Illinois is really good.
Yeah. So Illinois got
good.
State tipping off here soon. So March underway. We'll get a few more updates throughout the show. But we also have some news around college basketball. We brought up SMU yesterday for your bet of the day, George. Indiana State ended up winning last night in the NIT over SMU. SMU now parting ways with their head coach, Rob Lanier, after 2 seasons, who was an assistant under Rick Barnes at Tennessee for a while and was thought to be a great hire at SMU, but they lost 6 of their last 7 games this season, and he finishes 30-35 in 2 years at SMU, and he's out.
They gagged a double-digit lead up in Terre Haute.
Yeah, and
last night.
And they're heading into the ACC, remember, so I think that probably is part of it with SMU. You don't want to be limping into the ACC with your basketball program.
So wouldn't we kind of think SMU and Vandy might be looking at some of the same people?
I think so.
Absolutely.
Late for SMU, kind of getting into the action, but I mean Vanderbilt wasn't ahead of the game either, so I would assume that's a good indication. They'll be looking at some similar coaches. So that's
but Billy, you say that they don't want to be, stumbling going to the ACC, but just by the word ACC, don't you think that'll help them in recruiting?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but the ACC isn't what we're used to it being, especially in basketball this year. I mean, I forget how many teams they got in the tournament, but this wasn't. I don't think this is as strong of a basketball league as it used to be. And it's pretty obvious.
Here's the other thing. Let's say it takes SMU, I don't know, a week to 10 days to find a coach. It does give the players that are on that roster the easy excuse to hit the old portal.
Transfer portal.
Yeah, let's see what's out there.
I don't know this guy. I'm leaving.
Right.
SMU does have money, and they've used it better than some other private schools
institutions of higher learning.
Yes. Also in hoops, on the women's side of things, Vanderbilt, Shea Ralph got their first NCAA tournament win since 2013. They beat Columbia in the first 4 version on the women's side. So Vanderbilt will play 5-seed Baylor. And I'm trying to figure out when that'll be. And it'll be Friday. So Friday, tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, Vanderbilt will play Baylor on the women's side in that tournament. So congrats to them. Also, over to baseball. Weird, wild, and wacky story with Shohei Ohtani. Ooh. His interpreter is in trouble. Big trouble.
Yes.
So his interpreter was fired yesterday afternoon after questions surrounding at least $4.5 million in wire transfers sent from Ohtani's bank account to a bookmaking operation set off a series of events. His name is tough to pronounce. I won't even try to pronounce it, but he's a longtime friend and interpreter for Ohtani. He incurred the gambling debts to a Southern California bookmaking operation that is under federal investigation.
The hits just keep on coming, baby.
And you wonder if any of this mess spills onto Ohtani, who has had a pristine image.
Yeah.
And some of it's easier when you can throw the no hablo inglés.
Yeah.
That ought to be a prerequisite to get over here playing ball. You better learn English. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's a sad story too. Longtime friend, and he just kind of stabs you like that. That's awful. Also in the NHL.
How do you, though, if they're that close, okay, I'm going to be cynical here. You don't know any of that's going on? Your closest friend?
I mean, sometimes you don't know. And
Really?
No hable inglés.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of these coaches don't know what's obviously going on in their programs either, so you never know. I didn't
Go
know anything
Braves.
about that money. I didn't know anything about that money transfer. Come on now. Get the flip out of here.
Can you imagine whoever looked at that wire trip? Oh my God. It's one thing if it's $4,000. Guy had a bad weekend. He bet on BYU. He had Mississippi State. But 4.5 mil. Now that'll get your attention. That wire probably exploded.
That's a golf day for Michael Jordan down in Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me think of the Brad Bohannon thing. Kelly, I think you were with us when we talked about this when it broke.
Absolutely.
The amount of money, 6-figure bet on a college baseball game. I mean, how stupid do you have?
That's sort of a tip-off.
He had an inside gag on the deal, man. He couldn't pass it up. It's like a sale for my wife. If there's a sale, you got to buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Wild stuff. So we'll see how that shakes out with Ohtani. Preds in action tonight, as we talked about yesterday. They're playing the Florida Panthers, and there might be some motivation for old Andrew Brunette because he was in line to become the next head coach down there in Florida, and they went the other direction. So I think old Bruno will be ready for this one tonight.
Bruno? You and Bruno on that kind of first name basis?
I've heard Bruno a lot with him.
Uh-huh. I mean, I know him. I don't call him Bruno.
Yeah, you can't call him Bruno. That's for close people.
Although
Billy,
I'll say this. The hockey people, it's amazing. Everybody has one of those nicknames.
Yeah.
Trotsy.
Yeah.
I've never called him that. He's
Trotsy.
Barry.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable calling him that either, or Bruno, Billy. But you be you.
Bruno.
So we'll see what
Have
happens.
the two of you ever spoken?
No.
That's what I thought.
People probably think we have after that. But that's pretty much all I got.
It's it, Billy.
Yeah,
we have no NFL news, man. What do we get? I mean, no NFL news.
Nobody cares about the NFL in March.
So
yeah, they do.
What he's saying is you had very little meat on the bone.
Very little meat on the bone today.
Okay, that.
And don't give me there's nothing in the news, Billy. Figure it out. Dig, find something.
Make something up.
I mean, seriously, if nothing's there, make something up. Be a politician. Just make something up.
Appease Kelly. And in the news today, the president resigned.
George, you never talked about the weather today. You need to get to the weather. Maybe that's part of it.
Well, let me say this. That weather going to change a little. 60% chance tomorrow. High of 65. Got that?
Got it.
Okay, let me see if I can help
Thanks,
you.
Danielle Breezy.
Thanks, Danielle. We love it. I think we need to try to get Danielle Breezy on here to see if she could give us a forecast real quick.
I will give you one story here that you did not go with.
But this will be
what
big.
all of this means is that Kelly's world of football, as he just mentioned, he wants his football. It'll probably come back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't seem so excited a year ago when you couldn't find anything. Free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. intends to visit blank today. Who is blank?
The Tennessee Titans.
The Chicago Bears.
Wrong. And Billy, wrong. Miami.
Wow.
Ooh.
Hey, you put him with what they've already got. Oh, my.
Are Odell's days over, though? Because, he went to Baltimore, didn't really do much.
Oh, they're close. They're close.
I know he got hurt with the Rams. I think that was a year. He didn't get to play in the Super Bowl. But it just feels like he's kind of limping to the finish line here.
Here's the deal with the Miami Dolphins. We found out last year. They better get home field advantage throughout the playoffs or they're going to struggle, especially if they got to go up north because they're not built for that.
Right.
Those guys did not want to be there. The Kansas City Chiefs probably didn't want to be there either, but they played through it.
So let me ask you this real quickly. How can you get built for it when you're in December and your home game is 78 degrees with 75% humidity? How do you do that?
I don't know, George. I think it's a mindset. I remember when your boy Tim Corbin, when my son went down there for one of his camps, and that was one of the first things out of his mouth. You cannot let weather affect you. But I get so sick of hearing coaches say that because weather does affect you, and especially when it's raining. Weather affected me when it's raining, and my sphincter shriveled up to about that right there.
Really?
When it started raining, yes, it was not good. So
thanks for sharing.
I don't know how you get. I don't know how you get ready for that. I do know that when I was in Indianapolis, and we were part of the AFC East a long time ago, and we had to go down to Miami. We started, the week before that. I remember when we were in an off week and we had to go play the Miami Dolphins. They were talking about hydrating for our off week. So there's ways you can prepare. I don't know if you go and you might get acclimated, like maybe take your guys out of sunny South Florida and take them somewhere where it's cold and practice for a week and maybe get ready. I don't know. It's a tough deal, but they did not look like they wanted to be there last year. I mean, Tyreek Hill came out in no sleeves, but I don't know if he wanted to do that anymore.
No.
Or just win the big games in the regular season you're supposed to win. They lost to the Bills, right? And the Bills got home field advantage. So
get the home
Bills
ice.
Yeah, the Bills are no cakewalk though there, Billy.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, what are we doing?
When they had them at home. And they didn't, win the games in the regular season at home when you have the opportunity.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
It's not always that easy.
Yeah, that's easier said than done there, Billy. Yeah. Oh, William.
Wow. He's really on you today, isn't he?
He is on top of me.
You have taken on some water again with him.
William thinks you could just show up and win a game. It doesn't happen that way, William.
Snap your finger.
Kelly's Bills pride coming out.
After the break, McGee will join us, and we'll ask the question, is this sort of a where do the Preds really stack kind of game? Florida has the second largest point total in the league, and the Preds are on a run of biblical proportion. We'll talk about it next.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, you need to call Bart Durham. And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
I'm Watson Brown.
I'm Kelly Holcomb.
I'm Billy Derrick.
We're the George Plaster Show. We've been Nashville's best sports talk for the last 30 years. And you know what? we still are.
Catch us live weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time in Nashville on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, the podcast version is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs. You could live another 50 years and your hockey team may not ever put on a run the way this one has. In the last 15 games, I think I'm right where I'm going with this. A possible 30 points. Preds have gotten 28 of those 30.
Crazy.
They have scored at least a point in every one of those games. It's insane.
So they're 13-0-2, right, George? In this 15-game stretch?
I think that's right.
Yeah. Wow.
I've gotten to a point
Crazy.
where I can't keep count of it. Gee joins us, Mark McGee, to talk Predator hockey. Gee, how are you?
I'm doing great. Actually, 27-18, they were 14-0-1. So,
good Lord.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2017, 2018, they were 14-0-1. That's the last time they had 15 game points in 15 games in a row like this. So, they tonight, the challenge, Florida Panthers, two hot teams, one of the top teams in the East. Some people think it's the top team in the NHL. They're playing on home ice tonight. So it's interesting to see how it happens with this point streak. This could be the all-time record one, or it could end tied for the highest. So,
Mark, Tuesday night I wasn't able to be there. I had battled the flu, and I just didn't want to risk it. As I started to feel a little bit better. I'm told there were a bunch of empty seats Tuesday night. I'm going to ask the question. I know how excited I am about what's going on because it feels like there's going to be playoff hockey. Do you feel the buzz about them that we should feel?
Not really. No, I don't. And I notice there are a lot of ads now for individual tickets for the rest of the year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from that standpoint. But no, I don't sense it right now. I really don't. How much more can you want from a team right now? I mean, they come out of nowhere to now being a 98% chance of making the playoffs, and some people are giving them a 40% chance of making the second round.
Okay, give me your best theory, because obviously over the years, this is the kind of stuff that got debated. This is the kind of thing that led a group of us to do a rally. Why isn't there more buzz?
I guess there was so much going on with the season. There was a lot of expectation in a lot of ways, but now the expectation should be there for people. So I don't know. I can't understand why there's not much. Why that's happening. I really don't. I wish I could put a finger on it, but there should be more buzz. It'll be interesting to see when they make the playoffs, because they're going to make the playoffs right now. I mean, it would take a total breakdown for them not to make the playoffs. But it'd be interesting to see how playoff tickets go and what kind of arena situation we have there. You know, like the SEC tournament, they were begging for people to buy tickets on Championship Sunday. So
with Kentucky out of the mix, I mean that takes your most aggressive by a mile fan base out of it.
Right, but still, you would think a conference championship would draw a pretty good crowd. I mean, without having to really, they gave away. They were doing a lot of heavy promotion for the championship day. So I don't know. People. I don't know whether people just got where they don't want to go out. They got used to not going to things anymore or what. I'm not sure what the thing is. I'm like you. I think you're like me. I mean, I won't be at a live event.
George, let me ask. George and
Go
Gee,
ahead,
let me ask you this. I don't know how many. Excuse me. I don't know how many games you guys try to get to. And Kelly, I know. I mean, with you being in Murfreesboro, that's not an easy trip. It's not easy getting down there. Parking.
No,
going.
That's a big problem.
And so I don't know if people have realized that. Where people live, how easy is it? I mean, for George, like how would you describe your process of getting out there, getting to your seat? And
well, I learned before the season started that as a season ticket holder, I'm entitled to a shuttle system that the Preds have thrown out there for season ticket holders to park over at the football stadium.
Shuttle over.
And look, I get exactly where Scott's coming from on some of this. I'm in section 304, and it is one of the best values in that building. Those sections right in that corner are the ones I can afford. And so look, I'm not taking any shots here at anybody. I'm just surprised. I can remember in a day and time when we were worried about losing them, that it felt like, hey, Saturday nights are fine. Thursday nights are getting there. Tuesday nights are a problem. And I noticed this last Tuesday, it was a problem.
Yeah, Gee. Go ahead.
I think a lot of it. I mean, it is tough to get down there. Unfortunately, because of my mother's situation, I have not gone to many games this year, but I used to go to all of them. And no, it is a hassle to get up. I'm going to tell you where I park because I don't want anybody else parking there, but I have a really good spot, and so I can. It takes me 10 minutes. I don't have to worry about any traffic. It takes me about a 10-minute walk to the arena, and so but nobody's. I'm not going to tell you about where that is. But anyway, it's worked for several years. I'll just say that, and but I can see where it could be a hassle. Broadway's got to be such a nightmare every night from a traffic standpoint. It's just crazy. I noticed from the SEC tournament weekend trying to get out there. I didn't have my parking pass the first day. I had to park downtown, and getting out of downtown on Saturday night. Friday night was horrible. So I mean, so yeah, it's not only getting there, it's getting out of there.
Yeah,
it's a hassle.
Let's put the standings up right now, Guy. As we show these numbers, there has started to become a pad between 7th place Nashville and 8th place Vegas. So for the moment, I'm going to go where you're going and say, look, they got a really good shot to get in, whether it's the 7 or the 8. What is the league perception of them right now, as some of us who sit here as big fans are like, I never saw this coming. I don't know quite why it's happened or how it's happened, but I'm enjoying it. What's the league saying about them?
That they're the highest, that maybe they're the most dangerous team right now in the NHL, that nobody should want to play them in the first round of the playoffs because they've got a lot of confidence right now. They're everything's fit into place. And so right now I don't think any team wants to play them. And a lot of pundits are saying, no, this team could. It's not beyond the doubt that they could make a second round run. So I mean, there's a lot of confidence in this team right now. while they're playing. And even if they slip up tonight against Florida, I don't think that's going to diminish a whole lot because Florida's a pretty strong. Florida, like I said, is one of the probably 2 or 3 strongest teams in the NHL right now.
So if they go down there and lose 4-1, you're not ready to say, see, they're not ready to get to that level.
No, I'm not, and they're not expected to be a 4-1 game. I expect it to be a much more low score game. I expect this to be like a 2-1 type game, maybe 3-2 at the most. Because the Panthers have won 7-10, the Predators have won 8-10. You got 2 of the best goaltenders in the league going against each other. You got Saros, who has 2 or fewer goals in 10 of his last 12 games. He's going 10-0-2. You got Sergei Bobrovsky, goaltender for the Panthers, who has against 2 or fewer goals in 12 of his last 15. He's 11-4. So I'm counting on this being somewhat of a low-scoring game, I would think. It was this based on the goaltending for both teams. And so we'll see how it goes. The Predators defense is having a little problem right now with some injury situations. Jeremy Lazon went down the other night. He's week to week now, and he's awful physical. He's a big physical presence in there, and he's going to be missed being there. And Tyson Berry's getting a chance to play now, which I don't know whether that's good or bad.
Oh, I don't think either one of us are turning a cartwheel over it.
No.
Lazon has been, and this is an area where hindsight's 2020. David Poyle caught a lot of crap for what he gave up for Lazon, and it turns out he may have been right.
Yeah, he's a very physical player, and makes his presence known back there, and in the blue line. So I mean, he's going to be able to go off. So it's just week to week. So who knows how long it's going to be from that standpoint. So lower body injury of some sort. So you got Fabro out for 2 to 3 weeks, and Spencer Stastny's out from week to week. So it's a pretty big. It's a makeshift defensive unit right now. So hopefully Saros is going to have to play like he's been playing to really make sure that they can hold on right now.
Get the injuries out of the way now. Get them healthy come playoff time. Kelly, say hello.
Yes, sir. What's up, Gee? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Kelly.
How's our boys at the Duck, man? They doing okay?
We're doing all right. Gary's still alive, which is week to week.
It seems like the way he is, it's moment to moment. I need to check in with him. That's really bad to say. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be that because I like old Gary Deering. He's a good guy. So, what do you think about these trades that they brought? They brought the Zucker guy in, who's kind of been a thorn in the side of the Nashville Predators, and he's been in a lot of NHL games, but he looks like he's fitting in pretty good and hadn't been there very long. So, what do you think of all these trades? The Beauvillier guy, are they closer to getting, where they need to be, getting them over the hump? I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they can make a run at this thing with the guys that they got traded for.
Well, Zucker is an offensive guy. He's a pretty consistent goal scorer. He's already, like I said, fit in. He's already been scoring goals for the Predators. The Beauvillier is I think they're finding a place for him. He went after depth people just to fill in some gaps. He really didn't. I mean, he had to switch his whole philosophy. And I don't know how much he was looking on the buyer side of things, because he'd been being a seller for so long. So then he filled in a couple of spots, gave away a couple of draft picks. I think a 4th pick and a 6th pick. So it didn't cost him a lot. So for the most part, this team, you got, like George was saying, it's really hard to explain how this team is doing what it's doing, because Tommy Novak's your 4th highest goal scorer. Nothing against Tommy Novak, but he's the 4th highest goal scorer on the team. And Gus Nyquist has been playing front line most of the season. Gus Nyquist is not a first line player for most teams. But he's 1 point away from setting a career record for himself for a season points total. So they're getting and the secondary guys are doing great. You got Colton Sissons set a career record for points already. Evangelista set a career record. Cole Smith has set a points record, and Michael McCarron set a points record. They're all got their points all highest they've ever had career wise. That's a reflection on Andrew Burnett's more wide open approach to offense. They're all kind of embracing that now. So I think that you've got to, he didn't really have to have a whole lot. I mean, you didn't want to give away anything that was going to make a difference on the team. But Zucker was a nice little addition for a draft pick, and so was Bobbier for a draft pick. They did okay there.
So what do you see as their weaknesses right now? Is it the same stuff? I mean, did these guys help bring any of the weaknesses to a strength, or what are their weaknesses for going far in the playoffs?
Zucker helps them defensively. I mean, helps them offensively, but the secondary guys, the secondary scoring. I'll talk about this 2 or 3 times on here. Secondary scoring is the secret, and the secondary scorers are. I mean, the second, third, and fourth line guys are stepping up. Like I was talking about, most of the guys I just mentioned with career points right now are second, third, and fourth line guys, and that's what you got to have. You got to have them scoring, and they are right now, and that's made a huge difference, especially in this run. They've scored a ton of goals, the second, third, fourth lines in this run. I think it's like, I don't know, so like 17 or 18. I don't have my numbers in front of me on that, but they've scored a ton, and that's made a big difference on this team. You talk about weaknesses. The defense is kind of not really doing great right now as far as the front line, as far as the starters go. They're having to do a lot of piecemeal work down there. That could be a problem. But really, as far as to say a weakness, I don't see one right now. I mean, this team is doing everything it can do with what it's got. And I mean, right now they are you got right now they're the 5th best. So you got they're a point ahead of the Kings and 5 points ahead of Las Vegas. So I mean, they're the first. They're the 5th, 6th place team in the whole Western Conference right now. What more can you ask for? I mean,
I don't. I want to ask you this question. I got 2 more questions, but I want to ask you this one. Like, I don't know how to preface this question. I'm not sure how to bring it about. But like Barry Trotz, he was the coach here, and then he left, and now he's the GM. And I don't. Maybe George can help with this. Maybe y'all both. But like, what is the difference between coach and being the GM? Like, what do y'all see as a difference? Is there a difference? Can you tell a difference? That's kind of where I want to go. I don't know how to say that question, but like Barry Trotz is a GM versus Barry Trotz is a head coach.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, go
ahead,
Gee.
George.
Well, okay,
No,
I'll start this. I think what has changed is that toward the end of David Poyle's tenure, I had a hard time telling, are we rebuilding? Are we stuck in quicksand? Are we moving backwards? It was hard to tell. Barry got in here and he was like, guys, new sheriff in town. Here's what we're doing. Duchesne, out of here. Ryan Johansson, out of here. I'm not having a locker room with problems. And then he had to double down on it as GM several weeks ago, Viva Las Vegas. And instead of the team going south because they didn't get to see U2, something happened and it went skyrocketing. Take it from there, Gee.
And that could have gone either way.
Sure could have.
That could have gone either way, but I don't know whether Ron O'Reilly said that the pregame before the Vegas game, somebody snuck. I still haven't found one I'm looking for on the background music in the dressing room.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All the players got kicked out of it, and the coaches didn't hear it. He didn't think, but he said players did. They thought it was pretty funny. There was a video. It was on the screen of U2 walking down the streets of Las Vegas.
Oh, that is. So, Kelly, do you think Billy knows that song?
No.
The streets have no name.
No. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Boy, we could really be good at that.
When did that
Google
one
it,
come
Billy?
out?
Oh, come on.
1973.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's one of the huge hits of U2. Like, you don't even know who U2 is. It's ridiculous.
I just don't know their music.
In the playoffs, that's all they should play between periods is U2 music. That's all they should play in the playoffs right now. because the U team seems to be the one that got them there. So from that standpoint, but yeah, I thought that was pretty funny that they played that song during the. I don't know if it was after practice or pregame, but sometime during game day when they're all in the dressing room, they played that song was played over the loudspeakers.
That's hilarious. And then they need to follow that with "Don't Stop Believing."
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, they've got 3 games. I mean, they play a lot of teams down the line here. They're out of the playoffs, which that could be dangerous because you got guys playing for jobs and that type of thing. But they've got 3 games you got to look at. March 26th, they play Vegas, which they've got a little bit of a pad on Vegas. Yeah, thank you. And but they wouldn't hurt to have a little bit more of a pad because you'd like to be number 7. I think said number 8. Then March 30th, they play the Avalanche at the Avalanche. And then April 4th, they play St. Louis. I think St. Louis is out of it. But, but who knows? They could still be knocking at the door a little bit. A lot of people think they might. And the Wild, people still keep talking about the Wild like they got a shot at being that number 8 team. So, but those are 3 games I'm looking at thinking, okay, what might happen? Those might be important games. They may not from that standpoint. But right now, tonight, you got 2 of the hottest teams in the league playing against each other. It is the premier game tonight. Of all the games that's being played this evening in the NHL, that game is the premier game. A lot of people are going to have their eyes on that game to see what happens.
And thanks to ESPN for seeing to it that I can't watch it.
Yeah.
It's on ESPN Plus. Plus equals this.
Well, I'm the opposite of you. I can't watch it when it's on Bally, but I can watch it when it's on ESPN because I don't have the Bally.
I'm like you, Billy. I don't have Bally on mine either. Right.
Yeah.
So
we need to get George an ESPN Plus.
Yeah, it's only it used to be only $4.99 a month, George. I mean, put a little money down, Hoss. Let's go.
Do you have any other questions for Guy?
No, I was just wondering, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs who's been on top for a while. You see all these teams like the New England Patriots do it over and over again. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not a Nashville question, but like y'all talked about Vegas. What's happened to Vegas? Like, did they lose a bunch of guys or, that they won the whole thing last year and now they're struggling just to stay in the 8th spot? Like, what's going on in Vegas?
They've had a ton of injuries. The injury situation's really hit them pretty hard this year. And so they've really struggled with that. From that standpoint, they've probably been hit as hard as any team with the injury situation. But go back to Trice real quick because I know my time's about up. For a first-year general manager, and Barry should get the GM award this year for what he's done with this team because he's made all the right moves. He's made all the right moves with this team, and so I mean everything he's done has worked. And and like George said, he's changed the trajectory of the way this team was going to be going. And he's made the right moves. Barry is a very smart coach. I covered him for several years here. And he's a very, very smart coach, and I'm not surprised he's a smart GM either. I mean, you're talking about the difference. Coaches play with what the GMs give them. And right now, Andrew Burnett's playing, and you got Andrew Burnett. The coaches play with the players the GM gives them, and then Burnett's doing what Barry thinks he should be doing with the players that he's given them.
Guy, we're going to run on that. Thank you as always. Let's see if they can get a win tonight.
Let's see what they do. They win this one tonight. There should be a huge crowd at the game against Detroit. So.
Amen. See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
After the break, we're going to talk about one of the issues of this biblical run that they've had because it has been insane. But is there the buzz about it? We'll talk about that next.
Hit After Hit has become the baseball store in Tennessee. They have over 1,000 different models of gloves and over 1,500 wood bats. They also have several Iron Mike pitching machines as well as a Hit Tracks machine. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. We're we're proud to call Hit After Hit the official shirt provider of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night.
Music City is owned by my BGA classmate James Warren. Their work stands on its own merit. James and his staff do incredible work, as evidenced by the huge banners at the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. If you're looking for quality to help your marketing and business communications, and you want it at a reasonable price, these are your folks. Call them at 615-832-9511 or go to print at sirspeedymusiccity.com. And be sure to tell them Plaz sent you. Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances, and Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit the website coolspringsmd.com.
For over 35 years, Wilson Bank & Trust has been committed to providing customized banking solutions to help individuals, families, and businesses in Tennessee achieve their goals. As your full-service community bank, we are proud to offer loans with competitive rates, local decision-making, and fast, friendly service from our experienced lenders. No matter where you are on your financial journey, Wilson Bank & Trust is ready to help you take the next step. Visit your nearest Wilson Bank & Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Convenience and value, two words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Okay, so the Preds are on this massive run, and I wasn't able to be there Tuesday night, but I watched it on TV, and let me say this, I was miserable. I wanted to be there. When you go every night and you support a team and all of a sudden good things happen, you don't want to not be there. But a lot of empty seats Tuesday night, which also tells me, hey, in its 25th year, it is still a baby compared to a lot of the teams that are out there that have been there for however long, 75 years or whatever it is. And maybe, I don't know if I'm more worried than I should be, but I'll say this, I noticed.
Yeah, I don't know, George, and I'm gonna kind of reiterate what Billy said. Like I went downtown last year it was this past summer when they had the SEC Media Days, and I went to pick up Chris Doring that we've had on the show, one of my buddies, and one of his friends, and we went out to eat. And man, when you're not used to that downtown, that is hectic, man, because they got so much construction going on downtown. You can't go down certain roads. I couldn't get to him, man. It was crazy. I was trying to find a way to get to him. I had to call him. We had to meet up. So that is kind of irritating a little bit. And when you don't live in Nashville and you're not used to that, that's kind of tough. I hear what Guy said too. When you're playing a team like the Sharks, who's not very good, you probably know more than likely that the Preds are going to win the game. So why waste your money going to that game? I don't know. there's so many things to do now too, George.
Sure.
You're in a big city, so there's so many things to do. Even when you're going to high school football games or college football games, like people are not doing that like they used to do it, because sometimes that was the only thing going on in town. And now with social media, with everything going on, with concerts, with going downtown on on Second Avenue and all that, it's just, there's so many things going on that people just say, hey, they're playing the Sharks, I'm not going. It's expensive. I don't want to have to pay. I don't know what the cost is for beverages and hot dogs and things like that. But, people are trying in this economy that we're at right now. I mean, people are trying to save. So I don't know if that's an answer. But, I know for me, when I went and picked Chris up, that was really hectic for me. And I was over it. We picked him up, got him out of there. We ate somewhere. It wasn't in downtown. I think we went to Franklin. But it's just, there was a lot of anxiousness with me driving and my wife telling me where to go. And I'm like, I got it. So there's a lot of things going on. And, I don't know if that's the proper answer, but there's so many things to do now for each individual person.
Questions being asked. What do you think about Middle and Louisville tomorrow on the women's side? Rick Insell again has that team. It's amazing what he's done there.
72 years old.
He really does. He's a really good coach, man. When I was at Lincoln County, he was the head coach at Cheville, and you couldn't even, like, he would come in and he would get some of those girls from Petersburg, and they were supposed to come to Lincoln County and they went to Shelbyville. But he is, man, he's a really good basketball coach. He's got some girls that can shoot it. I don't know anything about Louisville, but I've seen Middle, and they got some big girls. They got 2 girls from Russia that are pretty good size, and I mean, they can shoot the ball. I mean, that's what Coach Insell's always known for, is for shooting. So I would not be surprised if Middle can make a run at this thing. I mean, Louisville's pretty good. They're usually really good. So I don't know, but it would be nice to see Middle, win a couple of ball games. I know that he's always said that he wants to, which is good, lofty goals. He wants to get to a Final Four. I'm not sure if that can happen. I hope it can happen, but he's got those goals, and he's got a really good team, and he's kind of monopolized Conference USA the last couple of years. I mean, that's, they're heavy into that, into that AAU circuit. But, man, he's going, and he's been successful at going out of the country and getting some girls that have certainly come in and they're ready to play. And I hope they can, get a win or 2 under their belt, and maybe that can catapult them on in the years to come to go even further.
Kelly, I've told this story before, but when he made the decision that he wanted to get the Middle job, for whatever reason, he called me. We're friends, and he wanted to know my opinion. Well, I told him, I said, it's going to take an AD to be really open-minded, and I happen to think Chris Massaro might be, at that point in a position to want to listen. And then over the next 45 minutes, he laid out his plan for me. And I remember exactly where I was. I was in my mom and dad's front yard with, one of these, it was a flip phone. And it wasn't like one of these where you can hold it and put it on speaker. And, I'm walking back and forth listening to this. And I'm telling you, 45 minutes into it, I was ready to go to war for him. I was like, Georgia, my God, this man's got some energy.
Well, you can honestly say that the Middle Tennessee women's basketball team has been the most consistent team on the campus for a while. You can actually say that. I mean, they've, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the men's team was, they were hard to watch this year. They had a successful year a couple of years ago, but like you look at football, I mean, the women's basketball has kind of been the shining light at Middle for a while.
It used to bug Pat Summit when I would call her the John Wooden of women's basketball. And back then she was, but I remember she blistered me one time during a commercial. She was like, quit saying that. Well, so I pulled that on Rick. I called him the John Wooden of Tennessee girls high school basketball, and he looked at me like, "Where did that come from?" You know. But tell you one other thing, I got to spend an evening with him at the walking horse celebration. And what I know about walking horses, you could put in a thimble.
Correct.
But I mean, you talk about a PR machine. Now, he might as well have been the mayor of that community.
Oh, hey, he was
Good
big in
Lord.
Cheverville, man. Now, when he left, now the Cheverville Golden Eaglettes can't beat eggs anymore. They're not very good. But when he was there, golly, man, they were tough to beat. I mean, I don't know how many state championships did he win, George? You know?
I want to say it was 10.
That was at least 10. I was thinking like 12 or something, but you're probably right.
You know what? I've got to look it up, but whatever it is, it's pretty doggone. Oh, it was, it's not chopped liver.
No.
So anyway, I know we're about to get you another scoreboard update after the break. I will tell you that Morehead State has gotten off to a very good start in their game against the Fighting Illini. We'll be back with Stat of the Day, scoreboard update, March Madness style, and then Coach B for one segment from down in beautiful Florida. Stay tuned. Venture Express has been helping people in this area for more than 40 years. They're headquartered in Murfreesboro with over 30 years of dedicated fleets involving production, manufacturing, and corrugated experiences. They're an asset-based company with over 700 tractors, 4,000 trailers, and 800 drivers. If you need their help, dial them up 615-793-9500 or log on to ventureexpress.com. Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
Yo, you want to see something cool? No? Well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Step into the scene! No, nobody can do it like me. Zoom house plate with the kick cuisine. I was the black top king, 360s in my green machine. I was a kid and I was breaking down doors. Listening to Tribe, now we on a world tour.
You know, starting to save for your future doesn't have to be difficult. Let Wilson Bank and Trust help tone up your financial goals this year. Our certificates of deposits or CDs can help your money work harder with our competitive rates, earning you more than ever before. WBT checking options allow you to earn rewards you can really use, like a high interest rate or cash back on check card purchases when you meet some e-banking qualifications. Visit your closest Wilson Bank and Trust office or online at wilsonbank.com to get started today. Member FDIC.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Got another March Madness scoreboard update coming up, but first, stat of the day brought to you by John English Antique Sports and Cards out in Shelbyville. They're open during the week, Tuesday through Friday from noon to 5, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5. Give them a call, 931-492-4304. All right, see what we got today. George, I know you love your bets. Before Fairleigh Dickinson, plus 23.5 point underdog, upset Purdue. What was the biggest point spread upset in March Madness history?
Kelly, wouldn't it have been the Virginia loss to
It's gotta
Maryland,
be. It's got.
Baltimore County?
I would think it's got to be. That's the first thing I thought of. It's got to be.
Let's go with it. I mean, we've at least got to be close.
That's final answer?
Yeah.
Wrong. Norfolk State over Missouri in 2012.
I don't believe that. I do not believe that one. Kelly, start talking because I'm going to.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either, Billy. I don't believe that. I mean, you don't know anything about YouTube, and you obviously don't know anything about this.
Wow,
well,
that's where I'm going, and I'm sticking with it.
UMBC was a 20.5 point underdog against Virginia.
Gosh,
2018.
really?
So a half-point difference.
Well, I think they should have. Yeah.
So y'all can take your that was wrong and shove it.
Now hold on a second. Let's not get testy.
Nice, Billy. Way to grow a pair, dude.
Wow.
I like it. Nice, Billy. I like when Billy comes back.
Hilarious.
He doesn't just sit there and take it. That's what we want. When you just sit there and take it, you're not likable, Billy.
Wow.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was a half a point. That's wild.
Yeah. How about that?
Wow.
Okay. So are you now prepared with a March Madness scoreboard update?
I am fully prepared. And so is sweet Georgia Brown as we get the music going. We've got, let's see, do we have 4 finals? No, still got 3 finals. First game of the day, 9-seed Michigan State beat Mississippi State 69-51. Duquesne, 11-seed, knocks off BYU 71-67. Their first NCAA tournament win since 1969. Creighton ended up beating Akron. Final score 77-60 in that one. And right now, we got 3 games going on right now. 2-seed Arizona is up big on Long Beach State, 82-60 with 3:06 to play in that one. North Carolina up big on Wagner, 47-32. Early in the second half there. Morehead State down by 1 to Illinois, 28-27 late in the first half.
Morehead opened 9-zip. They hit 3 threes in about a, 100-second thing to start the game. They were up 9-0 now. Illinois is really good. I'm here to tell you, if Illinois gets out of the first weekend and all of a sudden it's down to 16 and they're one of them, people better look out for Illinois.
Yeah, Terrence Shannon back. And they haven't done well. They haven't fared well in the tournament in the past years. So maybe they've got some motivation, but they got to get by Morehead.
Now tied at 29, by the way. Really interesting. A lot of the underdogs early, at least early, have really come out smoking.
Yeah, we're waiting on Coach B.
Yeah. In fact, hold on. There he is. So let's bring him up here. Coach B, how are things in sunny Florida?
I thought Coach B had us. We just heard him. Coach B, you there? Guess he's not there
That
anymore.
may be Kelly throwing us a curveball.
He's got a cricket phone. Get rid of the cricket phone, Coach B.
Wow.
We'll ask him.
You've got to show respect to your elders. So we'll get him here in just a second. So Tennessee and St. Peter's go at it tonight at 8:20. Tennessee, as that graphic shows you, 21.5-point favorite, now up to 22 with an over-under of 130.5. Well, let's bring Coach B to our microphones. Coach B, how are you?
He's not there anymore. He's not answering.
Really? Okay, let me.
Coach B's out, man. He's had enough of us. We've used him too much this week. We haven't put him on the opening like I told y'all that he probably should be on the opening, and he's upset. He's pissed. He wants to be on the opening like Watson.
When did that? This is the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, because it was Monday when you decided just to step out because you said you had the flu.
I did have
You
the
just
flu.
didn't want to fight through it, So we talked a lot about you, but I told Coach B that we had him on so much that he probably deserved to be in the opening along with Watson.
Wow. Okay. I was sick. Now, I was getting better late Monday afternoon. If you had drugged this corpse up here on Monday, could I have made it? Maybe. No way on Sunday.
Did you drink you some Ensure, a lot of water, George?
A lot of water.
Is that how you beat it?
Yeah.
A lot of water?
A lot of water, a lot of
staying in the bed.
Oh my God.
Did you have the chills at nighttime?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Oh, sweating it out. Nice.
Saturday night was a chill fest. It was bad. So, Billy, should I go?
We're still not
there.
getting Coach
Okay.
B.
Okay, we've sent him a message.
Plan B.
Okay,
Plan B.
May not happen. Let's go Plan B. So, do either one of you believe that Tennessee will have trouble tonight?
Tennessee is playing not great basketball right now. They didn't play well at home against Kentucky. They looked like garbage against Mississippi State. If they don't get out of their little funk, this could get dangerous. I mean, this is the NCAA tournament. I mean, they need to get out of whatever funk they're in. They're better than St. Peter's, but they were better than Mississippi State. And so I don't think they'll have trouble per se. That's a lot of points to cover, especially in an NCAA tournament game. So I don't know if I would pick them to cover, but this isn't the same St. Peter's that was coached by Shaheen Holloway and, gave it to Kentucky. I don't see it.
That's what makes the NCAA tournament so interesting, because you've got a team that didn't play good. They got beat by Kentucky, you said, and then they lost in the tournament. So they're not playing good. And if you're St. Peter's, all you're trying to do is maybe hit some shots early. If you can get hot early and hit some threes, get up on those guys, and then you can get that thing close to halftime where you're pretty close, and then you start getting Tennessee kind of to overreact and, get a little anxious about it, I don't know, just that's what makes this stuff so interesting, because you never know what's going to happen. If you can make a team feel a little heat, feel a little pressure, you may have a chance at the end, and that's all you're wanting. You're just trying to get it into the last part of the second period, and if you can do that, you got a chance. So that's what makes this stuff great. That's awesome.
If I'm the St. Peter's coach, I'm showing the film of their win over Kentucky a couple years ago. I know it was a different coach, but you got to show them that. Show the loss Tennessee had to Oregon State in the first round several years ago. Show Tennessee's loss to FAU last year. Tennessee's been knocked off by a lot of lower seeds under Rick Barnes. And I guarantee you, if you're St. Peter's, they play with nothing to lose. And if they shoot well, this could be a game. But I still don't think – I just think Tennessee is too talented. Dalton Connect against a team like this is not a recipe for success for St. Peter's, but who knows?
So here's one thing that strikes me. I want to talk to y'all about this. We're in a little bit of four-corner stall mode, so what the heck? Tennessee is not used to what Kentucky is used to, and that is the expectation every year is championship-level pressure. Right. All of a sudden this year, Tennessee's facing some of that. They're facing sort of the look. Don't tell us, you got to the Sweet 16. That's not good enough. Well, that's new stuff for them. And I wonder how, number one, how they're going to handle that. But I also wonder if internally Barnes is sitting there, because he knows he's going to catch some crap. If this doesn't go real well, if this tournament run, doesn't get done what they want, he's going to catch it, whether he's a good coach or not. There's something about what he does that seems to bring out the worst from mid-March on. I wonder if he's thought about that at all, or is he totally ignoring what everybody has said?
Well, I think he's thought about it, and I think I kind of agree with him. This time of year is kind of it's a little bit of a crapshoot. You don't have many of the dominant teams that you used to. It's kind of a crapshoot, but I don't know if I would have said that out loud. I think I'd have probably kept that to myself. And then, when players hear that stuff, they're like, yeah, maybe what he's saying is right. And they kind of play down to that. I don't know. I think he's a really good coach. I have enjoyed watching his basketball teams. He doesn't go out and recruit just any and everybody. They've got to fit his system. They've got to fit his mold. He still coaches hard. That's why they got Dalton Connect. The kid wanted to be coached. He wanted to learn how to play defense. But the story I heard a couple of weeks ago when, he stayed after like an hour after practice one day and helped one of the kids, on his form shooting the ball. I mean, that's what coaches love. They love being in the arena and being able to coach a kid and seeing a kid to his potential. Like I can remember me coaching over at Riverdale and having a quarterback that did not understand how to do a drop, didn't understand how to read a defense. And then, you get him, and then in the next couple of weeks, he looks even better. And then by the time you've coached him for 4 years, man, it's really something to see how he's changed from as a freshman or a sophomore when he started playing to becoming a senior. That's really cool. And I think that's what Rick Barnes is about. I don't, obviously he wants to win championships, and that's what everybody is, everybody is thought of as winning it. You got to win a championship, but I don't think that the coaches are in it for the right reasons. I think that they go about it in a different deal, and, they let practice take care of itself. And if you practice hard, just like John Wooden talked about a long time ago, you win games in practice. And I think that's the kind of guy Rick Barnes is.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tennessee is better than St. Peter's. If they come out and poop the bed, then there's going to be a lot more people saying,
different.
Rick Barnes cannot win when he absolutely has to.
Yeah, but I think we're all, and look, this is probably wrong, but we're all making the assumption that it's not about St. Peter's. It's about the round of 32. It's about advancing past the Sweet 16, when you get down to the real nitty-gritty. Likely, I guess, they're going to get Texas or Colorado State next, correct?
Yep.
And they would be favored against either one of them. Sweet 16, who else is in there with them?
Creighton, South Carolina, Oregon, Kansas, Gonzaga.
They got a tough bracket now. They got some dudes that they're going to have to go through.
But they got some easy stuff. Kansas may not get there because of all their injuries. Who else? Give me. Creighton's the hardest one in there.
Yeah, Creighton, I don't see Tennessee matching up very well with Creighton. That is the team that I think a lot of Tennessee fans are scared of. But Texas and Tennessee, I know some Tennessee fans are even scared of Texas, seeing Texas in that next round. So it is a crapshoot, but at one point is it not a crapshoot for Rick Barnes? He's got enough of a track record where he might have the higher seed, but he's more times than not losing in the Sweet 16.
I don't think he's ever had this kind of pressure to deliver the goods.
And does it just get to him?
Well, Georgia, you guys, y'all look at the teams that they like just to get to the Midwest Championship, man. They've got some teams they're going to have to go through. Like if South Carolina wins, Creighton is the team. I think we all think that. Creighton is the team that they're probably going to have to deal with if they beat the winner of Texas and Colorado State. So that's going to be a formidable foe. And I don't know. South Carolina's even, South Carolina beat them this year. Of course, South Carolina's reeled in the last couple of weeks. But it's not an easy road for Tennessee, and especially if they play like they did in that first game in the SEC tournament, man, where they just could not hit anything. If they play like that, they're probably going to have some problems.
Santiago Vescovi and Jordan James have to show up. If they don't, Tennessee ain't beating Creighton, and they might lose in the second round. It's not all on Dalton Connect. It cannot be. And that was a perfect example when Connect is off a little bit and Vescovy doesn't give anything. Tennessee is not a very good team. I mean, they got slaughtered by Mississippi State.
But don't you think in recent games that Vescovy has been more willing to give in, to not be very offensive-minded? Because in the past, he's had to be.
Yeah,
Right.
but he's got to do something. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. He's given in to just give it to the machine over there and let him crank out 40.
And this is the NCAA tournament. I guarantee you St. Peter's is going to have a plan for Dalton Connect. Tennessee's going to have to do something different.
Yes.
I mean, same with Texas for Colorado State.
Yeah, and in all those games that Dalton Connect struggled with, Ziegler, Josiah Jordan James played well. Vescovy played well. The last game they did not. They didn't step up. I don't know if did Jordan James score any?
He
was very
he
low.
did something, but nothing crazy. But I think Connect deserves some blame too in that SEC tournament game. I mean, he's going to have to. This is on his shoulders.
Yeah, that's
and I think he knows
butt whipping.
I think he knows that. And so, but we hadn't really blamed a lot of Connect. It was everybody else. But even against Mississippi State, it was, man, Connect is way off.
Well, when you have starters who do not score at all, Josiah Jordan, listen, I don't know what he is. I know at Kentucky, in January on that Saturday night, he was out of his mind.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, is he going to do that very often? The answer is never. And you can't have starting lineups with zeros.
Yeah. When I realized Tennessee might be in trouble in March was when Dalton Connect had 40 points against Kentucky and they lost. That was a huge warning sign. Kentucky made a lot of big shots. I know that. But when you have one guy give you 40 and you can't win, that's saying something about your team.
So there's another one that none of us quite know what's coming. That there are nights that Kentucky can load up the wagon with anybody. There are certain nights you see it where you're like, whoa, they are really something. And then last Friday night, A&M beat them around pretty good.
They did. They bullied them.
They really did. And I was surprised. I admit I was. But there have been these swings in Kentucky. Good enough to be the only team that sniffed beating Auburn at Auburn, much less beating them, and beating them pretty good. Nobody else came close. Going to Knoxville and winning. I mean, those are national powers that a very young team said, we don't care. We're going in there.
Yeah,
they're a hard one, when you try to handicap, they're a hard one to handicap.
They are. I think they've got a pretty decent draw, though. They play Oakland in the first round, then they play the winner of Texas Tech and NC State. NC State, got in because they won the ACC tournament. Do they have any gas left? Texas Tech, don't really know much about them. I think they're a solid team, but definitely beatable for Kentucky. And then you've got a Florida team who they've seen out of the SEC at the bottom of that bracket, Marquette, who has an injured point guard. I don't know how healthy he's going to be. But
he's playing. It'll be very interesting the next couple of nights to see what Marquette gets out of him.
Yeah.
Because if he's healthy, look out. They're one of those that can be there near the end.
I like what George said, though. Like, Kentucky may come out and they may lose to Oakland. I don't know. I mean, I've said it before. They could win the whole thing and they could lose in the first or second round. But I think what you said about pressure, even though they've got young guys on the team, pressure is built into Kentucky forever. I mean, they're used to being on the biggest stage. And when you go to that place, John Calipari, he presents you that. He gives you that opportunity. You're on big stages, and they tend to handle it. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if Tennessee can handle it, because I think you're right. I think they've got more pressure on them this year than they've ever had, because Rick Barnes has kind of reset the record books at UT with all the winning that he's done. Now, You can't just be regular season Rick. Now you got to take it to another level, and I'm hoping he can because I like the guy, and he's got a team that can, but they can't go cold like they have here in the past couple of weeks.
Listen to this one. Halftime.
Tell me.
Illinois 39, Morehead State 38.
Wow.
Wow.
A lot of Morehead fans up there, too.
Oh, yeah. Can you blame them? Where? What regional are they in?
They are in Omaha.
So they're playing at Creighton's.
Oh, wow.
Gym.
Yeah.
That gym right across the street from where the College World Series now takes place in a beautiful stadium. Okay, we'll go plaster bet of the day. I'm sorry we couldn't bring you Ron Bargatze, but enjoy your hoops. Hopefully I'll give you some winners. Stay away from what I have to say.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
The George Plaster Show is Nashville's best sports talk, 2 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. There's a podcast version available on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs.
Final segment on a Thursday. March Madness rolling on, and it's time for another update brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. You can visit her online at mortgageladyyusa.com. Finals to report, we've got 4 of them now. First game of the day, Michigan State beats Mississippi State 69-51. Duquesne upsets BYU 71-67. Arizona dominates Long Beach State 85-65. Creighton over Akron big 77-60. Those are the finals. Right now, North Carolina up by 20 over Wagner, 70-50 with just under 8 minutes to play in that one. At the half, Illinois up by 1 over Morehead State, 39-38. And 6 seed South Carolina out of the SEC is currently tied with Oregon at 13 with 10 minutes to play in the first half of that one. So that is your final March Madness scoreboard update of the day, brought to you by MortgageLadyUSA.com. Now let's get to Bet of the Day, brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. Give them a call, 615-242-9000, or log on to bartdurham.com. First, let's do a little review from last night. A couple of losses.
Woo!
SMU did not cover, and then they fired their coach.
Yes.
And Boise State.
But it's a night he'll never forget.
No, George. You got him fired.
Boise State also failed to cover. So
Yes, they did.
Tough start to March.
So we have one that Billy has on the books. I'm going to add a second one. And it starts, if you're watching our show live, it starts here in a couple of minutes. I'm taking Nevada out of the Mountain West over Dayton, Atlantic 10. I've seen them both a bunch. I like Nevada a little bit better. I think they're going to win. I'm going with them. They're, I want to say -1.5 against Dayton. I'm going Nevada.
Nice, the Wolfpack.
Now here's the one that Billy has on record. Yes. So I'm going with what I'm going to take Drake. First of all, I don't think Washington State is as good a team as they were in January. I thought they ran out of gas down the stretch. Washington beat them at Washington State. USC gave them fits, lost in the tournament. Drake, I'm a big Drake fan. I like this kid, Tucker DeVries, and I'm going with Drake. It'll be close, be like a lot of these NCAA tournament games, but Drake, mentally tough, pulls. I don't know if it's an upset at a pick'em, but that's what we got.
George, you think Drake could go far in the tournament? You and Taylor both like him.
No, I think this is kind of a one-shot deal.
This is one and done. They're going to win one, and then they're going to be done.
They would have to play Iowa State if they win. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with that one.
We're done. You're done for the week. We will somehow get through a show tomorrow without you.
I know Billy gets upset about that. I got two things for Billy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Before I depart from you fellas, okay? Billy, get up before noon and get a new opening, because I know you filmed 2 openings and we're tired of the one opening about it's been so long, and it's whatever it is about Kelly Oakham. Get the new opening, okay? And secondly is learn about YouTube. Okay, YouTube. I mean, I used to go out every day, Cleveland Browns, before the game and listen to The Beautiful Day. They had it on the loudspeaker. I don't know if they did that for me or not. Maybe I said something about it. But like, Google YouTube and figure it out, okay? Know what we're talking about when we're talking about YouTube, okay?
All right, I'll
good gracious. Please do.
Kelly, over the weekend, take a major league chill pill. Chill, relax, quit worrying.
I think I am relaxed. I feel like I am relaxed, George. I don't know if I'm relaxed as you are, but I feel like I'm relaxed. I just, Billy, the next time I have to call Billy at 1:59 and tell him that McGee is not Greg Sage again, we're gonna have problems.
Oh, okay. Drop the hammer.
You saw that, right? Did you see
drop
that?
The hammer. I did.
That's a C note. That's another C note fine right there. So it's kind of adding up. We're all going to get to go eat one night. Okay.
Right.
This is Kelly's world. We're all just living in it.
Yes. His world of football is coming.
Nice.
Yes. See ya. Have a good weekend.
See y'all.
See all of you tomorrow.